House, written by Epson in the Victorian era. Today we are going to talk about the feminism in the Victorian era. The Victorian era. In the history of the United Kingdom, the Victorian era was the period of Queen Victoria's reign, from 20 June 1837 until her death in 22 January 1901.
The feminist movement, which is also known as the women's movement or simply feminism, refers to a series of political campaigns for reforms on issues such as reproductive rights, domestic violence, maternity leave, equal pay, women's suffrage, sexual harassment and rape, voting rights.
Problems of the Victorian women. In the legal point of view, women were incompetent and irresponsible. So the married woman was entitled to no legal recourse in any matter unless it was sponsored and endorsed by her husband. Helpless in the eyes of the civil authorities, the married woman was in the same category with criminals and lunatics. Women were completely dependent upon their husbands and subject to them. They had no right to sue for divorce or take custody of their children. The Victorian woman could not make a will or keep her earnings. The concept of separate spheres. It was during the Victorian era when the concept of separate spheres arose. Men were in the public sphere. The public sphere is an area in social life where individuals can come together and discuss their opinions, identify societal problems, and through this discussion, influence political actions. Examples of the public sphere: journalism, wage labor, government, and law. The private or the domestic sphere. Women were limited in the private sphere, where girls couldn't even go to school, only boys went to school. Women could not discuss their opinions. They didn't have a voice, they didn't even have the right to vote. Examples of the private sphere: home and family.
The Victorian feminists report that John Stuart Mill, Elizabeth Jessery, Emily Davis, Elizabeth Garrett, Elizabeth Blackburn. Thank you.
John Stuart Mill. Mill can be considered among the earliest male proponents of gender equality. He was also the first male author to write about the role of women in his book that was published in 1869, The Subjection of Women. He also talked about the role of women in marriage and how it needed to be changed. And there he commented about three major problems in women's life he felt are restrained with them, which are education, society and gender construction, and marriage. He believed that those problems impeded the progress of humanity. Thank you.
Elizabeth Jesser Reed, English social reformer and anti-slavery activist. Reed founded Bedford College at Bedford Square in London. Reed also founded the Reed Trust, which continues to support women's education with small grants to this day.
Thank you.
Emily Davis. In 1862, Davis moved to London, where she was an editor in the English Women's Journal. She became a founding member of a women's discussion group, the Kensington Society, along with her friend Emily Garrett Anderson. She began campaigning for women's rights to education, to degrees, and teaching qualifications. She also became involved in the suffrage movement, which was centered on women's rights to vote. She was involved in organizing for John Stuart Mill's 1866 petition She also wrote, the same year, she wrote the book The Higher Education of Women.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Gap. She was a physician and a surgeon. She was a co-founder of the first hospital started by women, the first dean of British Medical School, and the first woman in Britain to be elected to a school board, and first female mayor in Australia.
Thank you.
Elizabeth Blackwood. She opened the New York Infirmary for Women. Blackwood also gave lectures to women in the United States and England. She was one of the creators of the first medical school for women in England. She influenced as many as 476 women to become registered medical professionals. On behalf of women, we would like to thank those who fought for our rights.
We'd also like to illustrate that feminism is not against men. Feminism is all about equality between men and women having the same options as men.
And as they said, when you educate a woman, you educate a family and nation.
Thank you.